Good morning and happy week one. Thank you for watching Sunday Kickoff. I am Fidel Barraza. Alongside with me, like always, Jerry Martinez, Kendall Whitley, Walter Stringer. What's going on, guys?
Week ones, man, we had a good game the other night, but we in store for a big Sunday, big opening Sunday. I mean, what about you guys?
I mean, it almost feels like kind of like redundant, right? Especially being a Cowboy fan, it's our year every year, but I'm just not. I'm hoping for another non disappointing season,
I'm just hoping for the Lions to be competitive, man.
man.
just that's it.
Hey,
That's
you
it.
guys got a pretty big game today. Well,
Yeah, we do. It's a big game for the Eagles too. Me and Jerry
sold
had this
out, right?
conversation. Yeah, me and Jerry had this conversation yesterday, I believe.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
would it say
Well,
more for the Lions if they went out there and housed the Eagles, or would it say more about the Eagles?
man,
Uh,
Wow, I think you gonna like what I got to say later on about the Lions. Stay tuned.
I ain't got no other place to go, so I gotta stay tuned. I'm here, but yeah, I think it's
all right.
gonna be man, this is like the most jumbled season I've seen in a while, where it's like anybody could win it. Like, and for different reasons, I think the AFC anybody could win it because it's so damn tough from 1 to 7, and you can make the argument that whoever you may have at 8 or 9 could also, be that 7 spot as well. And then you look at the NFC, it's just wide open, man. It's wide open for different reasons. Tom Brady's age, Aaron Rodgers' age, Stafford injuries, Rams offensive line. Can the Eagles really become what a lot of people believe they can become? So I'm ready. I'm ready. And I love seasons like this.
All right. Well, let's waste no time. Let's get to these games and let's pick a winner. All right. Let's start with Baltimore at the New York Football Jets. Right now, Baltimore is favored by 7 points.
Oof, this is gonna be a good game. This one we and Jerry talked the other night. I didn't mention this in the podcast, but this is another good game. Flacco making a return to that game is in New York. Yeah, it's
New
in New
York.
York.
Yep.
Yeah, but on either way, Flacco returning against his old team or whatnot. Everybody forget C.J. Mosley plays for the Jets, former Raven. So he's been out. He's been injured the past couple years or whatnot. But I'm gonna go with the Baltimore. I don't feel good about it though, but I'm going with Baltimore. I'm gonna go 27-20. This will be a close game out there. Everybody say it's gonna be a blowout. I'm going 27-20 Baltimore.
Man, give me Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore's always been one of those teams that's always strong, always making a push in the playoffs. So yeah, I mean, I think right now Lamar Jackson has something to prove. I think the reports of last night that he turned down the contract being worth $290 million. Only 133 was fully guaranteed, so he refused. He declined. He made it official. So I think that he's coming out to prove a point that he is up at the in the upper echelon and needs to be paid like Deshaun Watson money.
I'm going to take the Ravens too, with caution. I don't think they cover those 7.5 points. I think the game is much closer than people believe it's going to be. People are making a big deal about Flacco going up against his former team. I mean, Harbaugh's still there. A lot of those guys who were there when he was there are gone now, especially
Yeah.
on the defensive side of the ball. I just think it's going to be a close game. Week one, I think the Jets are much improved. They got some playmakers on the outside. I think Garrett Wilson is a stud. Brees Hall is going to be a stud. They've got some issues with the offensive line, but this is one of those funny games where I would take the Ravens, but I'll take the Ravens with caution. But if we're betting,
I'll-
if we're gambling,
This is if we're gambling, my friend.
if we're gambling, I would honestly take the Jets with those points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't need to do that. I'll take Baltimore money line.
I will say
All right.
I will say this. I'm very curious with this Jets team. I think year two it speaks volumes. It's unfortunate Zach Wilson still is. I mean, you guys to stay healthy, man.
Yeah.
And they came away from the NFL draft big winners for long term. So
Flacco got some weapons now. He does have some weapons. They're young, but he got some weapons now.
and
Yeah,
I think that last year's wide receiver they drafted Elijah Moore is going to be a great compliment with Garrett Wilson. I mean, I think them two are going to be monsters at the wide receiver position.
Yep. And Baltimore
How
got
about
both of their
Sauce?
starting corners coming back.
Sauce Gardner too.
Sauce, he's looking legit so far. So
All right. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints visiting the Atlanta Falcons. Right now, the Saints are 5.5-point favorites.
This gonna be another good one too down in the South. I'm going with the Saints. I'm gonna go 29-17 Saints. I think Jameis has a big day and starts probably his MVP campaign.
Oh well, I mean, I think football. I think right now what the NFL needs is a bunch of Jameis Winston, and I think that I think it's kind of hard, right? Because you know, man, Peyton's not there, right? Sean Payton's not there anymore. But I mean, I'm pretty sure Dennis Allen's going to continue to run the same kind of offense. They kept the offensive coordinator that they had previously. But I mean, Jameson Winston, he loves to air that ball out. I saw the reports. Michael Thomas. It looks like he's going to finally make his debut after how many years? I mean, how many seasons now? 2 seasons out. So I think you top that. The only thing that was a little bit disturbing was early in the week, Chris Olave was actually wide receiver 5 on the depth chart, which, I was expecting Chris Olave to come on and take the league by storm. Now, I mean, it's kind of hard to put up Jamar Chase type of rookie expectations on Chris Olave, right? Or even Justin Jefferson. But I did have him up there in that top tier. I'm pretty sure Chris Olave will get some snaps, and it's going to be up to him to capitalize on this. But I think that the Saints will take this game.
yeah, I'm gonna go with the Falcons with the upset. Even though I don't really know how big of an upset it would be, beating the Saints, divisional opponent. I think while the Saints are obviously the better roster, better team, the Falcons have at least 1 year under their belt with their head coach in that system. They got some playmakers in Kyle Pitts. They got London out there. And just remembering, and I know Fidel remembers this, remembering how big of a disaster Dennis Allen was with the Raiders. Like, I just can't really get that out of my head. Then to hear about, Olave, first round pick, a guy you really was, eyeing the entire draft process, for him to be 5th on the depth chart, it really doesn't make sense. None of us are flies on the wall with what's going on in New Orleans, but I just can't trust Allen right now. And this is week 1. This is a divisional matchup. The Falcons are at home. So I'm going to take the Falcons in the upset 24-20.
I will say this: Cordell Patterson did have a great season last year too.
He's
with
a
the
weapon.
Falcons.
He's a difference maker. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, besides Dennis Allen, first time go around being a disaster, I think the Falcons are a bigger disaster this season. So I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints. Down the cover.
Hey, maybe might look out for a big game from a former Raider, Brian Edwards. I know sure Fidel like that.
Hey, man, as long as he stays healthy this season, it'll be good for them. All right, next game. This is, probably the game that Kendall's probably looking out for the most. New England Patriots visiting the Miami Dolphins. Right now, Miami is favored by 3 points.
Woke up this morning feeling good. Been feeling weak. Been feeling good all week about this game. I told Fidel, I told Jerry,
Yeah.
been feeling good about it. Me and Jerry, we talked about it the other night.
Yeah.
Woke up this morning feeling good, and I checked my Twitter and I seen the inactive list. My guy, Anthony Jennings, might be inactive for the day. So, I mean, he's had a pretty good off season. But enough of that. I'm going with my Patriots. Everybody's counting us out. We're going to play good today. I'm going 23-19. This is we always tight. Nobody never blows it and blows somebody out. But that place has been a house of horrors for us. Like, even when we had Brady, the whole tenure, like, it's like we've been a better team and we still lose. In the game always because we just fight we can't, like, I don't know what it is, like a black cat running around there or something. We just can't win in Miami. It's like, I mean, it's been so bad we can be running wide open for a touchdown and the grass monster trips us up or something like that. It's been that bad in Miami. But I think we're gonna put everything up on us today. We had a good week, been in Miami all week. That could be a bad thing, but it's hot there as I see. But I'm going with the Patriots. My Patriots, 23-19. Matt Jones has a big day. Devontae Parker scored a touchdown. And that fact, and we're gonna see that speed on defense get after Tua.
I did forget to mention that the Patriots are naming Matt Patricia as the play caller for the offensive season.
Yeah.
Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, good for them.
I
He
don't know
did.
if good or bad, but
Yeah, I mean, if we look at what he did with the Lions, I'm pretty sure I can tell you what he's gonna do with his offense. So give me the Dolphins in this game, and
One more thing.
I
One
think
more thing,
Tyreek
though.
Hill's gonna show up.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Some coaches are better as coordinators. Now he was a coach. He was a disaster of a coach with the Detroit Lions. He's back. He's with when he was with the Patriots. He was a pretty good defensive coordinator. Coach is coach, coordinator is coordinator. He might be a better coordinator. We'll see today.
Nah. I'm gonna take the Dolphins today. I'm gonna take the Dolphins by a route, man. I just think it might be the Dolphins' time right now. If you look at the talent. Well, I will say this. I think the Patriots are going to be stout defensively this season. If they win a lot of games, or the games they win is going to be based on that defense pretty much. Not so sure about Mac Jones. I think Mac is decent. I don't think they did enough on the perimeter-wise for him. You traded away one tall guy, 6'3", who can't separate, and you brought in another guy in Parker who's 6'3" and can't separate. I just don't see it. I don't see it. And considering the fact the Dolphins were just so easily okay with getting rid of Parker, I was a big Parker guy coming out of Louisville. But, he was beat up the first couple of years in the league. And then once he got healthy, he started making some plays downfield. But he's a contested throw guy. And that's good. That's okay. But there comes a point in time where I think the league now is predicated on guys getting open. There was a point in time where everybody wanted the 6'4" guy, 220 pounds, who could jump over people downfield. Now you look at teams like the Saints, or you look, prime example, look at the receivers who all went in the first round this year. Garrett Wilson, 6 foot. Chris Olave, 6 foot. Jameson Williams, about 6'1". They're all route runners. They're not really big guys. They're quick guys, quick twitch guys that can get open. So I think now more than ever, you need guys who can get open. These defensive ends are coming consistently, and you need guys who can timely get open. It's not just about hold the ball, wait for some big guy to get open downfield somewhat and jump over somebody and catch the ball. So I think the Dolphins did something this season, this offseason, in bringing in Tyreek Hill, which I wouldn't have done. I thought it was a steep price. But you pair him with Jalen Waddle and what they already have, I think the Dolphins are going to be deadly in some matchups against certain teams. So today I got the Dolphins big, probably 31-19.
The Patriots have not beat the Dolphins since 2020, the first game of the COVID of 2020, and we had Cam Newton there. All three of our losses. Tua is 3-0 against Belichick. That's crazy. Nobody talks about that. Tua is 3-0 against Belichick, and we've always struggled about the RPOs with those RPOs and those quarterbacks like that. But I just been feeling good all week. But we all have a right to have our own opinion. But we all have our right. So
it's different though this season because I think don't y'all normally play Miami later in the season at Miami?
Yeah,
No,
that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing I said. Like we do good down there when we play them early. It's when we get them late. So we'll see, man. I've been feeling good, so we'll see.
Man, this is the lock of the week for me. I like Miami over New England, and I like Miami big. All right, this next game might be the most interesting game in the early slate of games. Cleveland Browns visiting Baker Mayfield and the Carolina Panthers. Right now, Carolina is favored by 1 point. 1 point. Who you guys got?
I'm going with Cleveland. Baker revenge game. If the Browns had Deshaun Watson Day, I'll be going with Cleveland. I'm going with the Panthers. I'm going with the Panthers. Baker Mayfield revenge game. If the Browns had Deshaun Watson, I'll be going with Cleveland. But I'm going with the Panthers. I just thought Jacoby Brissett just doesn't wow me, just doesn't excite me. He just doesn't get me out my seat. I'm going with the Panthers. They're home. If they was in Cleveland, I'll go with Cleveland. But they're home, revenge game, and Jacoby Brissett. Baker's going to be fired up. We've seen how amped up he can get. Not going to be a blowout because Cleveland knows him. I think Myles Garrett's going to get a couple sacks. I want to see that J.C. Horn versus Amari Cooper matchup, but I don't think we'll be able to see it how we want to because Brissett's going to be throwing the ball. He just doesn't get me out my seat. I'm going with the Panthers. I'm going to go 23-19 Panthers.
I think I've followed Baker for pretty much all his collegiate career. He's one of the most feistiest quarterbacks I've ever seen play the the game, uh, and pitiful too, right? So I think that this is a statement game for Baker, and I think that when we look at the Panthers, the last 2 seasons that Matt Rule has constructed this team, that it seems to be that the missing piece was, getting a little bit more help on the offensive line and securing a franchise quarterback. And I think that they did that this offseason. And that defense looks like it's ready to roll. The only thing that's kind of scary is I wish I could pronounce the offensive tackle that they drafted, but we call him
Ike
Iki.
Ekwonu.
Yeah. So I think that that's going to be the biggest matchup to see during this game because he's going to be he's going to go against Miles Garrett. So I do think for the most part the Panthers are going to have a relatively surprising type of season, and they're going to be contenders in the NFC South. But it's all going to ride on Christian McCaffrey and how healthy he can stay this season.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with the Panthers today. Low scoring, ugly game. Cleveland, no quarterback. Running backs. Carolina got a quarterback. No running back. Is McCaffrey out this week, isn't he? Yeah, I believe McCaffrey's out. So
No, Christian's
He's
playing.
playing. He's playing. He
okay,
took him off
because
the
I
injury
heard
report.
a couple of days ago they were saying that he
He
could
couldn't.
He was
possibly
on the
couldn't
injury
shin.
report, but
It was a
yeah,
it was
no,
a
he's
shit.
playing.
Okay.
He'll be a full go.
Right. So he's nicked up and playing, which means there's a good chance we can see him jogging off midway through the second quarter. So, yeah, I think if there was a guarantee he was going to be healthy, unlike Chuba Hubbard, also, but if there was a guarantee he was going to be healthy for all 4 quarters, I'm just not so sure. But that Cleveland's going to be able to move the ball that consistently against Carolina, but they are at home. I mean, well, I don't believe either team is going to be able to move the ball that well, honestly. Cleveland because of their quarterback situation, and Carolina because of their running back situation. And you got Ike Ekwonu making his debut against Miles Garrett, and that defensive front, that secondary, that linebacking core for Cleveland. But the Panthers will be at home. I do believe they'll be able to move the ball through the air a little bit better than Cleveland. So I'm going to take the Panthers in a low-scoring game, 16-14.
I'm going to take the Panthers as well, but if Cleveland is going to win the game, it's going to be Nick Chubb running over 100 yards and that defense being big for the Browns because, look, they know Baker Mayfield's tendencies too, and that defense is talented. So, but I am going to go with Carolina Panthers this game. All right, next game, Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. Right now, the Bengals are 7-point favorites.
Man, me and Jerry talked about this game the other night on the podcast. If y'all have a chance to go listen to that. And I want to say this my pick for a later segment, but this is my upset of the week. I'm going with the Steelers over the Bengals. You see Mike Tomlin brought the team Air Forces, Black Air Force Ones, and we know what that means. We know what that means. We'll leave it at that. But they mean business. And they got embarrassed by the Bengals in both games last year. They were completely and utterly embarrassed. And Mike Tomlin, he just has – I would love to play for him if I was playing or whatnot. He just has that look of a serious coach or whatnot. I'm going with the Steelers, not an upset. I mean, not a blowout, nothing like that. Because the Bengals, they're going to score. But I like Steelers. Pickens, I think he's going to have a pretty good game. Keep out on Deontay Johnson. I think he's playing. I think he's going to play. But I like the Steelers. I think I got Najee Harris running for over 100 yards today. I'm going Trubisky, have a big game. I'm going Steelers. I'm going to go 27-24 on the last second field goal.
I'm sticking with the Bengals, man. Joe Burrow is my guy, man. And he has Jamar Chase. That's all he needs, really, in reality, to win, to seal the game. Look at what he did last year. I mean, took him all the way to the Super Bowl. Was almost there to win it too. So I think that the Bengals are the team to beat right now. They revamped that offensive line. I don't trust Mitchell Trubisky. I'm saying it right now. I think he's probably going to be there just about maybe week 2, and I think they're going to call in the rookie. And once the rookie comes in, Kenny Pickett, then I think the Steelers can start being a real contender in that very, very tough AFC North.
I'm going to take Cincinnati today. They're at home. They got receivers. Pittsburgh's got receivers. Problem is, I'm not sure if Pittsburgh in the secondary, deep coverage wise, is going to be able to handle Cincinnati. Cincinnati torched them last season, both games downfield. Love Minka Fitzpatrick. Minka is better from line of scrimmage to maybe 20 yards. Outside of that, he can get kind of shaky back there. Cincinnati got a guy in Dax Hill who I thought Pittsburgh probably should have been eyeing in the draft this year, but I understood wanting to go quarterback. They went ahead and they got the guy who they had their eyes on for a long time all last season. They loved him. They got the guy they wanted. Dax Hill's a guy we can talk about him later also, but I'm not sure when it comes to Pittsburgh. This is the only thing about playing Cincinnati. Pittsburgh's good enough to beat a lot of other teams. But as we know, when it comes to those matchups, if you can't really handle Cincinnati on the perimeter, you're not going to be able to handle Cincinnati, period. Now, the good thing about Pittsburgh is that they can rush the passer. You know, they went out, they got Miles Jack. So they got him. They got T.J.
Bengals
Watson.
did address the offensive line, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a big,
so
the big thing.
from Jacksonville for nothing. They got him some running mates. Bush is back healthy. So, you know, Hayward, he's always going to be who he is within that defensive front. You know, T.J. Watt, potential defensive player of the year. If they can get pressure, if they know how to get pressure on Burrow this season, because they couldn't get any on him last season. So if they can get pressure on Burrow today, we're looking at a completely different game because we've seen really good quarterbacks be dwindled down to below average. They don't have the time with that offensive line. So we think they fixed some things on the offensive line. They went and got a guard from Tampa Bay. Was it Ali Marpet, I believe, from Tampa? So
Yeah.
you know, they did some things that they felt they needed to do. I'm going to take Cincinnati today, mainly because I'm not sure Pittsburgh can handle them on the perimeter.
Man, this game has kind of been one I've been kind of going back and forth on. I'm gonna go Cincinnati, but it's a close game, and George Pickens does score a touchdown, rookie for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I like him coming out of Georgia.
All right,
Pittsburgh
looks like I'm
covers
the only
7.
one on- looks
Yeah,
like
they'll cover the seven.
Looks like I'm the only one on Mitchell Trubisky and the Steelers. I need Mitchell to have a big game, but next week at 1 o'clock, I need you to revert back to Mitchell Trubisky.
All right, next game. It's going to be a raining one. San Francisco visiting the Chicago Bears. This line keeps going down. So George Kittle is going to be inactive for today's game. Right now it's at 6.5. Niners are favored. Who do you guys got?
I'm going to Niners. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Niners, and this my first blowout prediction of the day. I'm going to Niners 28 to 31-10. I'm going 31-10 Niners.
I think Trey Lance is gonna finally show up. I think like it's a matchup between the two top 5 quarterbacks in last year's draft, right? Trey Lance and Justin Fields wasn't top 5, but I mean he should have been top 5. Yeah. But I think that I don't get me wrong. I'm a big supporter of Justin Fields. I think he's a very talented quarterback. I think that, man, the Bears just did not do enough to surround him offensively to be able to, stack up against a very tough defense that the 49ers still have. I think the only question mark with the 49ers is the quarterback, but we see what Kyle Shanahan does. I mean, he just gets the running game going. Once the running game going, a tough defense equals an easy win in the NFL.
Yeah, rainy day out there in Southern California. Bears, and I agree with everything Jerry said. I think when the GM came in, he did what he felt he needed to do, which was obvious. That offensive line was atrocious last season, so the offensive line was his main focus. Now, could they have done more skill position-wise with him? Of course. Of course, they could have done more. They could have done more running back-wise, receiver-wise. They got some young guys they feel are going to take some big steps this next season. They drafted some nice pieces on defense. They lost Khalil Mack. I think this is kind of a transition season for the new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new GM moving forward. I think Justin's going to have a solid second season in the league, but it's just not going to start today. Frisco's got their issues. I'm not that big of a Trey Lance guy. I never was, going back to him coming out of college. But I think Frisco is just further further ahead enough of Chicago to win this game today. So I got San Francisco 26-7.
Yeah, San Francisco should really blow this team out. My only concern is the weather, and that might,
Yeah.
indicate some sloppy play. But I am going to go with the Niners. All right, next game, Walt. Philadelphia Eagles visiting Detroit Lions. Right now, the Eagles are 5.5-point favorites. This line keeps going down as well. I'll let you go
Kendall?
first.
Oh, okay.
No, go ahead. Go, Walt.
All right. I'm gonna take the Eagles today. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think the Lions cover those points. Home opener. I got the Eagles winning roughly 24-21. Lions got some issues on the offensive line. Frank Ragnow is still listed as questionable with a groin injury today. Tommy Kramer, he's listed as doubtful, I believe. So we've got some issues offensive line wise. That doesn't sound good going up against Jordan Davis and Fletcher Cox, in my estimation. But I think we'll be able to throw the ball good enough against the Eagles and that secondary. As many issues as they did cover over the offseason, the Eagles, as far as fixing some of the holes in their team, I still think that secondary can be got. I think we have the guys on the perimeter that can get them. Look at the tight end situation. Hawkinson, he can be productive today. The Eagles weren't really that good against tight ends last season, so I expect them to have a solid day. And Hutchinson, he's a guy that I think can be a game changer, a game sealer, a guy that gets that big sack on 3rd and 10 in the fourth quarter to seal a game for the team. If he can have a solid day, the secondary can play up to par with what they've looked like over practice and over OTAs and over training camp. We believe they're going to be a lot better. This can be a close game. But I think the Eagles, same thing as far as the 49ers and the Bears, the Eagles are just further ahead than we are right now. So the Eagles should win this game. Would I be surprised if Detroit pulled it out? No, I wouldn't. But the Eagles should win this game.
It's a pick 'em, isn't it? At this point, I mean, we look at the Lions. I think what they've done is they've really constructed a defense that like, I mean, I know Walt and I have spoken about this previously. A big concern on that defense is the secondary, but I mean, I think in the back end, the safety duel you guys got is it's gonna work. But the Lions have always been one of those teams. Uh, even seeing them last season, they lost a lot of close games, and I think that in this case, it's not gonna be an easy walk in the park for the Eagles. Even though the Eagles kind of are the offseason champions, right? Because they picked up a tremendous amount of talent in the offseason, with AJ Brown, and then of course their draft class. But it's not going to be an easy game. But the Eagles are going to just barely pull this one off.
Another potential upset of the week. I'm going with the Detroit Lions in walk-off fashion. I'm going with Jeff Okudah pick 6 in the final seconds of the game where the Eagles are driving. Detroit Lions win. The Lions win 28-21.
I'm gonna say this, man.
Philly wins.
When they beat us last season, they ran the ball straight down our throats. We couldn't stop the run last season. I don't see how we're gonna be able to stop the run this season. We'll
This
be able
game
to
in
get after the
Detroit.
quarterback.
Is this game in
Detroit.
Detroit?
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. We fixed the pass rush for damn sure. I think we fixed the pass rush during this all season, but I don't believe we're gonna be able to stop the run again this season. The Eagles know who they are. I don't expect the Eagles to just drop back with Jalen Hurts and just try to throw the ball 36 times. They know exactly what they can do to us. As much as it hurts to admit that, but they know exactly what they can do to us. And if Philly sticks to that game plan, yeah. So yeah, if Philly sticks to the game plan of run the ball directly down Detroit's throats because they're not built to stop the run, and the linebacking core is suspect at the best. But anything can happen. Turnovers start happening. Guys get injured, leave in the first quarter. But if you're not banking on untouchable things happening, which is turnovers and injuries, Philly's further ahead. Philly should win this game.
Yeah, I like the Eagles. I like the Eagles to cover as well. All right, moving along. Indianapolis Colts visiting Houston, Texas, and right now the Colts are a 7-point favorite.
I got
I'm gonna go
Houston.
Colts. I'm going with the Colts. Oh, you're going Houston. I'm going with the Colts. Not a 31-17 Colts.
It's gonna be a tough game. Actually, I think that the Texans defense is actually it's gonna show up. They're gonna give the Colts fit. So, but in the end, I think that the Colts are gonna they're gonna win by a slight edge. But this is gonna be a lot tougher game than what people think. I don't think the Colts are just gonna go in there and just walk all over the Texans.
I like what I've seen from the Texans in the preseason. I know it's preseason, but I did like what I've seen from them. Though I've seen some players on that defense. Derek Stingley. I want to see that Michael Pittman and Stingley matchup or whatnot. But I like what I've seen with the youth, the fountain of youth in Houston. And I think they trend in the right direction.
Yeah, Jalen Petrie also the safety. He turned out to be a steal. I'm taking Houston. I think the offensive line is much improved. I did like the fact that they got Kenyon Green from Texas A&M, who potentially could have been a top 15, 20 pick. A nice swing offensive lineman. He can also play both tackle positions, both guard positions. He even played a little bit of center at Texas A&M. And Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce was a guy that I think Jerry, weren't you high on coming out of Florida? He kind of grew on me later on in the draft process, but Pierce is a big, physical, thick, tough running back who's going to make teams pay. And if you look at the NFC South, that division's built on running backs. Except for, you can throw Jacksonville in there depending on what you expect to see from Travis Etienne, I guess, this season coming off of an ACL injury. But we pretty much know exactly what the AFC South is built on right now. Running backs. Tough, hard-nosed football, defense, solid offensive line play, and running the football. So Houston got theirs. And I like Davis Mills. I'm a big Davis Mills guy. I was a Davis Mills guy at Stanford. I just like Houston. I like Houston today.
Yeah, I like the Colts. I like the Colts today, and they'll cover.
That's a bold.
All right.
That's a pretty bold prediction. I'm not gonna let that one slide.
Well, I mean, I
No,
don't
it's
think it's a
not.
bold prediction
I mean,
because they improved in the quarterback position. I mean, one of the reasons why the offense was struggling last season was because of Carson Wentz
yeah.
at times.
But
Right?
the thing is,
They got Matt Ryan.
That Colts defense was number one last year. So that is that, and for the Texans, that I mean, yeah, they showed a slow improvement, but that Colts defense was number one last year. They're gonna continue to
Yeah,
be number
but
one.
And the other thing too that I forgot to mention is that Leonard is going to be out, linebackers. So Shaquille, I think he wants to go by Shaquille Leonard now. Correct? Yeah, so he's going to be out. So I mean, who knows? But I like Indy. All right, next game: Jacksonville Jaguars visiting the Washington Commanders. Right now, the Commanders are 3-point favorites.
Carson playing some hero ball. I it's difficult, right? Because I think we're all on the same boat here. We all want to see Trevor Lawrence succeed in the NFL. I think that he has the making to be something special. Um, I think that in this case, it's kind of easy to just go ahead and select the Commanders. Um, and I think that I'm gonna go with a safe bet. Give me the Commanders on this game.
I'm gonna go with Washington. If we remember correctly, Carson Wentz last outing wasn't good against Jacksonville, and that's why his tail's in Washington now. So you'd think he'd have a better performance this week, this year, this game or whatnot. We're going Washington, not a blowout again. Look for Jahan Dotson, Walter's guy from Penn State. I think he's going to have a pretty good game. Washington got a nice young court. I'm going Washington 27-23. I think Trevor Lawrence does have a good game though.
yeah, I'm gonna take Washington also. I don't think Jacksonville's built to really measure up with them right now. And Washington isn't really anything to write home about completely, especially considering the quarterback position with Wentz. But I think they've got more pieces in place right now, overall, even through the coaching staff, than Jacksonville does. One thing is this, though. Guys like Josh Allen, the defensive end Josh Allen, and Trayvon Walker. If those guys can get freed up and can make some plays, those are two guys that can give Wentz some problems. Now they're young in the linebacking core, and they're still young in the safety at the safety position. But Dotson, McLaurin, downfield pressure, I got Washington.
I like Washington as well, but this game can go either way. So, but I like the Commanders. All right, now for the
I
late
do
slate of
not like the
games.
Commanders.
Go
I
ahead.
do not like the Commanders, but go ahead. With the
You don't
next
In
like
one.
this
the
game, I
quarterback
like the
situation,
Commanders.
or you don't like the team?
No, I just don't like the team, man.
Well, I like them in this game, so I'm going to go with the Commanders. All right, next game. We got the Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Arizona Cardinals. Right now, Kansas City is favored by this thing just all right, 6.5 points.
I'm going Chiefs in the shootout. I'm gonna go 34-31 Chiefs.
Man, I'm really excited to see about these Chiefs, man. I mean, wow, they really helped out Patrick Mahomes, man. I mean, they revamped that offensive line. I know they lost Tyreek Hill, but I mean, they got him wide receiver help that he needs. I think Sky Moore. I don't know how much he'll get to play, but I'm kind of excited to see what Patrick Mahomes can do with these new weapons that he has. Um, Give me the Chiefs by big two.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs around 30-20. I don't think Arizona's built the way they were last season. They lost some guys. They've got the receiver DeAndre Hopkins. He's out for the first 6-7 games of the season, I believe. No, they did lose Christian Kirk to Jacksonville, who we were just discussing. They're depending a lot on Rondale Moore this season. That's a huge question mark.
Well, they got Marquise Brown, which Kyler Murray.
He's a question mark. He's
Well,
a huge question mark.
And they still got AJ Green, but he's up there in that.
He's a question mark.
I will say this: Kyler Murray and Marquise Brown, that Oklahoma Sooner connection.
Yeah, but the thing is this, man. If you can't catch the football, there's only so much football you can play out here. And for him to make the comments he made when he left Baltimore about the system and this and that, like, dude, they force fed you the football a ton. It's not their fault. Like, Lamar can't walk down the field and put the ball right in the palm of your hands. There was a game like last season here against Detroit where he dropped 3 touchdowns. So I don't. Nah, I'm not a believer of it. And he's pretty much a one-trick pony. He's not going across the middle. He's dropping anything almost you throw at him across the middle. So it's nah. Cardinals got some big issues. They got some issues defensively stopping the run. They did lose Chandler Jones. We still don't know what they're going to turn Isaiah Simmons into on that defense, so I'm going with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are further ahead, and that's pretty much a key note that I'm going with today. Teams are being further ahead, better coaching, better quarterback play, better overall team, so I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs too. Money line. All right, next game. Las Vegas Raiders visiting the Los Angeles Chargers. Right now, the Chargers are 3.5-point favorites.
This game here, this is a big game, and we talked about this the other night too in the podcast. This right here is a huge one. You flip a coin on this one. Both teams made a lot of additions in the offseason. Both teams. The thing that really got me though, we talked about this other night. J.C. Jackson is not playing, and I want to see him going up against Devontae Adams or whatnot. It didn't end well when he was going against Stephon Diggs with a team last year, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But I'm going to go with Fidel's Raiders in this one, man. I've been going back and forth on it. I want to pick the Chargers at home, I think.
Yeah, they're home.
That's basically a Raiders game. Yeah.
They're home, so you already know what it is.
Uniform-wise, they're home.
Basically I'm going with the Raiders. I'm going with the Raiders in this one. Devontae Adams is going to go off. Hunter Renfrow, they just paid Waller, too. I think the Raiders, I think they're going to win this game. If McDaniels don't call screens and stuff on 3rd and long or whatnot, they'll win the game. But I'm going with the Raiders in this one, man. Derek Carr, big day. That J.C. Jackson, that thing, it hurt me because they signed him for matchups like this, and he's going to be out on the first couple weeks, I believe. So I'm going with the Raiders.
I will say I want to add one thing, right? Because I think Walt, you're saying that they force fed the ball to Marquise Brown or Lamar Jackson. That actually you're absolutely correct. He was targeted 147 times. Last season, he came away with 91 catches. So
Okay,
I mean, that's an
exactly.
interesting stat line. I mean,
But you're complaining about the system not showcasing you enough, right?
yeah. But
Right.
to get back on the subject, right? The Raiders versus the Chargers. I said this is a game that wasn't getting too much media hype. No, I didn't really hear anybody. I hadn't really seen the teams on Twitter. Anybody on Twitter that I followed that talk about this game enough. I think the AFC, like we can all agree the AFC West now is the new NFC West, a very tough division. I think that in this case, uh, the Raiders' offensive line is very sus, man. I liked the Derek Carr should I say reunited
Yeah.
Devontae Parker, right? I
Yeah.
don't know.
That works.
It's kind of hard, right? Because yeah,
Yeah.
college BFFs. I think that right there, we've seen what Derek Carr can do even without the offensive line. I mean, um, he had Hunter Renfro, and finally Darren Waller's healthy, paid, and yeah, man, it's gonna be a very close game. But give me the Chargers on this one. I think that in this case, I think that Justin Herbert's gonna start to separate himself from the pack. I think that he has too much firepower on the offense, and that defense is going to do what they need to do to get the pressure and not allow Derek Carr to get those passes off as frequently as he was last season. Tough
Yeah,
game though. I was rooting for the Raiders.
yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be a tough game. I'm taking the Raiders too. Uh, I got the same questions about the offensive line, but I do believe I'm not a big Josh McDaniels fan either. But I really don't care for the Chargers. So I think the Raiders know offensively what they can do against the Chargers, defensively and what they can't. They can't just drop back and just try to get into a shootout with Justin. So they gotta dominate the line of scrimmage. They gotta figure out a way to run the ball because you can run the ball on the Chargers. That's one issue they didn't fix over the offseason. It's still soft in the middle, I believe. They can blitz you. They can get to the quarterback, but I think you can still run the ball on the Chargers if you want to, if you dedicate yourself to doing it. I think McDaniels, he's a bright enough offensive mind. He'll figure out ways to generate yards in the run game because like I said, you don't want to drop back and get to a shootout with Herbert. So I'm going to take the Raiders in a low-scoring game.
I like the Raiders.
I don't
Move it
know.
along. All right. Green Bay Packers visiting the Minnesota Vikings. Right now, the Minnesota Vikings are 2-point favorites.
Oh,
Why?
if you're the Vikings, you got to ask yourself: if not now, when? You have everything. If not now, when? I'm going with the Vikings in a shootout. Everybody think Rodgers going to have a bad year because he don't have Adams. He's just going to spread the ball around. If Sammy Watkins doesn't pull a hammy, knock on wood, or get hurt, he'll have some people. I like Romeo Dobbs. They got Randall Cobb. I think he's going to play. Christian Watson's going to play. They got Tunyon coming back, I believe. If they can, and they don't forget about the running game. They got Jones and triceps or whatever back there. But I think they'll be fine. I do think the Vikings will win. You got to actually, if not now, win. I mean, if not now, win. Come on, we need you to do it. I'm going 34-31. Remember last year, Aaron Rodgers came to Minnesota in the first week and he put on the show. I think Minnesota remembers that. I'm going to Vikings.
Oof. It's tough, man. They got a new coach, a new coaching system. On this one, I'm gonna have to go with the Packers. I have enough. I've already learned that you can't count out Aaron Rodgers, regardless of who's playing wide receiver for him. Um, but I am excited about this Vikings team. I think from what I've seen and all the research I've done on the Vikings, they're planning to use Justin Jefferson like they did Cooper Cup, and if that's the case, and I hope you picked him up on your fantasy lineup because that means he's gonna ball out. He's gonna have like 190 targets this year. And Justin Jefferson catches the ball. You know what I mean? So it's very tempting to want to pick the Vikings, right? Because who's really a Packer fan, man? But give me the Packers in this week.
Justin Jefferson and Jair Alexander must see TV. And Eric Stokes
Yeah,
over there.
Stokes
That's
too.
another good corner.
And really good safety play. I'm going with Green Bay 20-17. I think that offense is going to struggle a little bit through the air this season. They're going to lean on Dillon and Jones a lot more. And more than anything else, I just believe in that Packer defense. I think that defense is going to be top 5 this season. They'll give Kevin O'Connell, brand new head coach, and that offensive problems today. As much as I love Justin Jefferson, he will be matched up with Eric Stokes and Jair Alexander routinely off and on. That safety play was elite last season, and they're going to be able to get after the quarterback. So I'm going with the Packers.
I'm going with the Packers as well. Close game, though. All right, next game. The New York Football Giants visiting the Tennessee Titans. Right now, the Titans are 5.5-point favorites.
Ooh,
I'm going to Giants. Yeah, I'm going to go Giants 17-20.
You kind of said it like with ease.
Yeah, you didn't want to waste time. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste time. Give me the Titans. I think it'll be a close game, but give me the Titans.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Titans in a low-scoring, ugly game.
I'm gonna go with the Giants. Upset alert. New York Football Giants beat the Tennessee Titans. All right, and then Sunday Night Football, Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the Dallas Cowboys. Right now, the Bucs are 2.5-point favorites.
Ooh, revenge game for the Cowboys from week 1 of last year. Potentially, but I don't think they come through with it. They got a lot of question marks on the offensive side of the ball. Is CD Lamb the number one offensive line issue? But Tampa got some of the same issues. They got Julio. I think Gage is going to play. Evans, Godwin. Gronk is not there to move retired or whatnot. I'm going with Tampa. But this game, I think it's going to be a defensive game, though. I'm going defense. Both pretty good defense. I'm going 23-17 Tampa.
Yeah, I think that Dak is gonna lead the Cowboys to victory on this one. So give me the Cowboys.
I'm gonna take Tampa. Close game, closer than people believe. I think that Dallas is gonna play tough this season. They're gonna play Tampa tough week 1. So I got Tampa 21-17.
I like Tampa Bay to beat Dallas in Dallas. All right, and Monday Night Football. Denver Broncos visiting the Seattle Seahawks. Of course, Russell Wilson being the quarterback for the Seahawks for a very long time, going back as a visitor now. Right now, the Broncos are 6.5-point favorites.
Blowout, 35-13 Denver.
Yeah, I think in this case, yeah, the defense is they have to be top 5 this year, and then you add Russell, easy win for the Broncos.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. I got Denver, 35-12. I can't see, even outside of them being able to stop Denver offensively, which I don't think they're going to be able to do. I don't understand how offensively they're going to generate any points. I just don't see it, especially against that Broncos secondary. So, yeah, I got Denver walking into Seattle and wiping them up.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say here. I like Denver. I like Denver big. All right, real quick before we end today's show, give me you guys the Super Bowl predictions.
Right now, I have the Bills, and it's very hard in the NFC because it's like Walt, you said in the beginning, it's super wide open. It's gonna be between the Packers and I want to say Packers and Bills, but I'm kind of leaning towards Bills versus Bucks, and I think Bills are gonna be the Super Bowl champs this year.
Yeah, man, I've been struggling with this for the last 2 or 3 months, actually. Man. I got Kansas City coming out of the AFC. I do, and when it comes to the NFC, I just think that I picked the Eagles. And I picked the Eagles. I think the Eagles are just physically tough enough out of everybody else. When you look at the issues the Rams had. First of all, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because we can talk about the Rams issues. You per se talked about the Rams issues. Okay? As far as that offensive line and as far as some issues they've had defensively and being able to run the ball. Tampa's got their issues that pretty much streamed from last season over to this season. Even Green Bay, as good as I believe that defense is going to be. We've bet on Aaron Rodgers the last, 3 years? And we've seen them win 11 games, 12 games, 13 games during the regular season just to lay an egg in the postseason. It gets to a point where your quarterback is going to have to make things happen come postseason. That was the main reason. There you go. That was the main.
Someone likes you, Walt.
That was the main reason the Rams went out and got Stafford for last season. The quarterback has to be able to make plays at some point in time. He has done nothing the previous 2 postseasons. Am I right or am I wrong? Aaron has done nothing the past 2 postseasons. Now we can have our issues. Whatever, Jerry. We can have our no, but come on, Jerry. I'm surprised you didn't say Dallas was going to be there.
I mean, I was so tempted to say Dallas,
come
but damn, the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
They've been there before.
I mean,
more recently than you guys.
I don't trust Jalen Hurts, man. I'm sorry, bro. I don't trust Jalen Hurts. I like trust Dak. I trust Dak. I trust Dak over Jalen Hurts. Now, if Dak was with the Eagles, I tell you this: give me the Eagles.
Man, we're not even gonna get into what Dak is, but no, I just think that when you look at the rest of the NFC, man, Aaron is old, Tom is old. They both are showing their issues over the past couple seasons, and I think the Eagles. This could just be the Eagles season for them to get there. So, like I said, I got Chiefs and Eagles.
I rather pick the Vikings than the Eagles, man.
Man, you just hate the Eagles.
I'm gonna go with the Los. I know I just picked this team to lose today, but I think by the end of the year they're gonna figure it out. They'll get it right. I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers over the New Orleans Saints.
Hold on, timeout. You're gonna trust the guy that calls a timeout when the game's gonna end in a time both teams are gonna go to the playoffs? You're gonna trust that guy?
Yes.
What in the world? We're getting so far off.
Hey, everybody wants to go with the hot, sexy pick, the Bills over the Bucks or the Bills over the Rams. Like, I'm going with something different. Like, and a lot of times we tend to overreact week 1. Okay, yeah, the Bills look good, but let's calm down a little bit. Let's calm down.
Hey, but you're only saying that because they're in the division with you.
No. Seriously, no. I've already said they're gonna win. No, I've already said they're gonna win out the division. So,
bro, did you see the game last night on Thursday? They look pretty damn good.
I've seen them, but let's just injuries take a toll during the year. A lot of things can happen, and then sometimes during the season, sometimes teams lose games that we don't expect to lose. We just never know. We never know. So I'm going with the Chargers versus the Chargers over the New Orleans Saints. That's what I'm going with.
Dennis Allen leading the team to a Super Bowl?
I mean, not only that, but Jameis Winston coming off of a big, serious injury and being able to come through all these obstacles. I mean, there's some tough defenses in the NFC.
Oh, well, you know what, though? I wouldn't mind seeing Jameis get that far. Can you imagine the interviews Jameis would give, though?
He's been through a lot.
He's going to eat the W. No, I don't want to see it. We'll leave it off. I like Tampa Bay, and I like the Buffalo Bills, with Tampa Bay winning the Super Bowl.
Oof.
45 is a new 25.
Old man Brady.
Well, I don't want to see Brady. I don't want to see Brady win another one. I don't want to see the Bills get one. So I'm kind of stuck. Either way, if it gets to Brady versus the Buffalo Bills, I don't know what I do.
Well, buckle up, because it might be. All right, well, that's going to go and do it for this edition of Sunday Kickoff. Thank you, everyone out there, for watching and listening. Enjoy the games. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
Peace.